Welcome to BIMMeet, episode number 1, where we talk to other BIM professionals to share ideas, improve processes, and tell impactful stories. Okay, so sitting here with Scott Vlasic with Merrick Brothers, and just going to run through some cool questions, and just be yourself, answer the best you can, and this helps us get to know you better, find out a little more about yourself and what your hobbies are and passion and everything else. So let's just begin with tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are, your hobbies, how you got involved with Merrick Brothers, what you do, your expertise, and all that good stuff.
I guess a hobby for me would be I teach part-time as an adjunct at the University of Houston, which I love it. They probably wouldn't have to pay me and I'd still do it. I also belong to a makerspace, TXRX, and currently I'm teaching myself how to weld, so if you want to call that a hobby, I really enjoy myself. But I've been with Merrick Brothers for 13 and a half years. Started as an estimator, project manager, and then as soon as this technology came along, I said, hey, I need to get in that line, and sure enough, they gave me an opportunity, and now I'm in the virtual design and construction industry.
Oh, cool. So how long ago was this when you got involved with the whole technology?
Almost 6 years ago.
Oh, 6 years ago, halfway through your tenure.
Mm-hmm.
And then how long have you been teaching?
5 years.
5 years? Yeah. And what exactly do you teach at UFH?
I teach construction management too. I actually teach both sections, which are both junior sections. And I do, at the end of my course, I do actually show them 3D quantification using Revit or Navisworks. So they do get a taste of it. And I always love bringing the HoloLens right before the final, the day before the final. These kids eat that stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
It's where we need to go.
Oh, man. That's great. So tell us something, in your line of work or expertise that you think we should know that we may already know.
I think there's a great opportunity for the AEC industry. If we could just start collaborating platonically, if you will. This really needs to be incorporated into higher education because I don't think we can reprogram us older, more entrenched people that are in the industry. I think it's going to take the next generation who are actually going to be technology natives, unlike us who are technology immigrants. We're learning this as a second language, but these kids that are coming out of college now, unfortunately, academia doesn't, the architects, the engineers, and the construction managers, we don't give the kids an opportunity to collaborate. We really need to start doing that, and that's where the industry is going to basically blossom once that starts happening.
That's a good point. So hone in a little bit more about on collaboration. Like what does collaboration mean to you, in terms of, are we just verbal collaboration, verbal meetings or online, or how and when does collaboration happen?
Across the board.
And
starts in the beginning. Okay. It really does. It starts with once the owner has a concept, it's not just a matter of an architect design. I agree that aesthetics is art, and it really needs to be. It's what gives color to our industry, right? It's the architecture. But if we involve the engineers and the construction managers earlier, okay, these are the specialists who are going to understand, can it be built? Then we iron out all the problems in the very beginning in a basically design assist phase where everybody's in the same room. Contractually that can't happen now because the contracts just don't give that kind of leeway for that kind of collaboration. I think if we just continue to do that, design phase will get a little bit longer, but the construction phase will get a lot shorter, and there will be less cost overrun and less schedule delays.
And an overall better product for the owner at the end. Yeah. Go ahead to that. Okay, that's great. So, do you have one of your most challenging, BIM-related moments or technology-related moments?
For me, and actually this is very current to where we are right now as far as our industry, it's the field. It's getting the field to become comfortable with this technology. Because I don't blame them. We're asking somebody who's been doing the same thing for 20, 30, even 40 years, and to ask them to do something very different or to change their process in this stage in their career, it's very, very difficult. So we're getting a lot of pushback, and I find that the most challenging.
Is there a specific example where, you're in the field having to explain something to the guys out there and hitting a brick wall?
It's actually it's this whole 3D technology and being able to, if you have been in this industry and all you understand is 2D, 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 I can imagine where looking at something 3D would be frightening. It would be hard to really wrap your mind around it and understand where it is. And some of the stuff we're using with the augmented mixed reality, I think this will give us an opportunity to say, hey, look, this is what it looks like. This is where we can be.
And when you say 2D, you mean them looking at plans.
That's it.
Just flat two-dimensional plans and not
They
being able to
they'd rather kill trees and carry those rolls around for a year than actually strap on some smart glasses or a HoloLens and walk hands free, work hands free. I don't understand.
So how are you overcoming some of these these barriers to adoption of some of this technology in the field? I mean, is it brute force? I mean, what have you done back then to kind of get these guys over to the to this side, if you will?
I can tell you right now that the brute force thing doesn't work.
Yeah.
It will never work. We've tried it. We do have a really good workforce development program here at Merrick, and we actually see we're going to build on the future. And we're going to actually use the young and up-and-coming foremen and lead personnel, teach them, and then they will teach everybody else in the field. And eventually, if you think 10, 20 years from now, this will be second nature.
Second nature, hopefully. So what would you do a little bit differently given the tools that you've got today, to kind of help, tackle some of these things? I think you mentioned some of them, the HoloLens and things like that,
Oh, definitely. I mean, just giving them the opportunity to become not just familiar, but where it becomes everyday, to see the 3D, to see its applications, and to see the benefits of it. Because, I mean, if we can convince these guys, or if we can show these guys that this helps them, it actually creates less work, better quality. I mean, overall, it's a better job. Easier. I don't want to say easier because I don't want anybody to get lazy.
But it sounds like they just have to kind of trust it.
Exactly. They
don't trust
That's a
it
good
right
point.
now, right?
They do not trust this technology.
Yeah. Okay. So with everything going on, I know there's a lot of stuff going on. What excites you the most? What gets you out of bed? What says, hey, I'm going to tackle today, and I'm super excited about it. I know you're fired up about the presentation, but man, this is great.
This mixed reality stuff, I see the potential. I mean, it can make really not only become more efficient, more productive, but safer. I mean, this stuff has so many applications across the board. If it's from design to engineering to construction to facilities management, but most important, safety. I mean, just think about all the wearables that are coming out, and then the ability to see this mixed reality from a pair of smart glasses that are hooked into a phone or some CPU that's in your helmet, and be completely hands-free, but to access all the data from those glasses or those iPhones or those pads.
Some kind of wearable technology. There's a little bit of what are some of the barriers that you see right now that are preventing us from moving faster in that direction? Is it cost of entry? Is it just the technology hasn't gone there yet? I mean, in your opinion, what gives are people just saying on the side, on the sideline going, hey, show it to me first, and then
it's these. I'm telling you, it's these silos. It's these. It's the inability to truly collaborate that are basically halting this whole progress with this technology, because architects, they're finding that what benefits them, and then the engineers are doing the same, but we're all in our separate silos, and it's not until we actually start collaborating in this common data environment becomes something real and tangible, are we actually is this technology really going to improve our industry?
It's a good point you bring up, collaboration again. So do you think collaboration or the technology could help us, collaborate more? It seems like now we're kind of forcing our,
once we start sharing, we're going to find out that it's going to be, one or two programs that are out there, the software that's out there, they're actually going to be used across the board in this common data environment. I do hope that there is sharing between programs. Interoperability is what they call it in the industry.
Yeah.
But I think once we start passing this information freely back and forth without any kind of resistance from our culture, from our trades,
legal issues.
Illegal, and the cybersecurity. From what I understand, cybersecurity is playing a big role on this whole collaboration, because it's something you really need to consider when you start putting all that information out there for everybody to see.
Yeah. What's interesting is, about a year ago, I think, GCs were very standoffish about receiving Revit files. And, slowly we're starting to see them play with the Revit files, be a little more comfortable with the Revit files. I know they're still loading them up in Navisworks and things like that, but before, they're like, whoa, DWG, give me DWG, don't give me the Revit file. And then so now it seems like, they're starting to warm up to it. They're getting more and more, skilled, folks that understand how to use the programs and things like that, so
because truly because of the information that's in these files.
Right. It's huge. Yeah.
It makes our job so much easier.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So speaking of Revit and things like that, so what's your most favorite tool or app or, something like that, that you would go to?
The HoloLens and the smart glasses. We have two here in the office, and my manager's actually we're researching the smart glasses, because we think that there's an application with the smart glasses as far as a virtual foreman or a virtual lead or superintendent. We can put these guys that are getting ready to retire, who have so much information, so much experience, but they just can't get to the job sites. They can't walk up the 20 places. They can't. It's too difficult. They may only visit 2 jobs a day. But now we can put these smart glasses, and we can link them to one of the lead personnel in the field, and they can be on 10 jobs at the same time. So when anybody has a question, it's just boom.
Wow.
You reach out to them, they pull up the plans, the foreman uses the experience, and now instead of 2 jobs a day, it's 10 jobs a day.
So they're transcending space and time.
Exactly.
And, this is all futuristic stuff, man. This is great. Yeah, that's good. Now, is there anything that you don't like about the HoloLens, or is there things that you think that could be improved right now?
The view, it's small.
Okay, so the field of view is...
Yeah, once they improve the field of view, I know the Dockery helmet's out there, and the field of view is a little better, and the Meta glasses.
I heard HoloLens 2.0 or whatever is supposed to be.
They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but I think that I really do think that once the technology improves to where we can almost see 180 degrees, it's going to be indispensable.
A little more immersive, and everybody feeling like you're actually there. Yeah. Okay. This is great. You've been throwing all kinds of great information at us. Kind of parting. What kind of advice would you give folks? And then how can we contact you?
I think the way I look at the world is you really need to look at it spherically, because you never know which direction an opportunity is going to come from. Because if you're just traveling a single path straight ahead, you're never going to see an opportunity from the side or the back or below or above. And then stay enthusiastic, stay passionate about what you do. I think if you stay passionate about what you do, then this new technology is going to be easy.
Absolutely. Great. So how do you want folks to get a hold of you?
Either you can call me here at Merrick Brothers, or you can shoot me an email. My first name, Scott, C-O-T-T, last name Vlasic, V as in Victor, L-A-S-E-K, at Merrick, M-A-R-E-K, bros, B-R-O-S.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
No problem. Thank you.